So, Justin, 5 days a week in the office. Oh, we had a debate. Maybe I should preface this. We had a debate last week about whether the 996 hustle culture is acceptable within the startup and in particular venture community, enforcing this mindset on people. One, so what's your opinions on that? And two, when we discussed when we had you on Bricks and Bytes, we discussed that you are specifically a 5 day a week in office company. So, two questions. Far away.
Yeah, the 996 thing is kind of funny. I think that's it's too prescriptive, and like my issue with it is that you're trying to create an outcome by changing the input rather than focusing on the output. To me, like if you have ambitious goal setting as a company, which is what every startup should do, then all of the like that's the outcome you want is the ambitious goal. Everything else fills in behind that. And so what we find is like people work big hours when they are motivated and excited about what they're driving towards, what the goal is. Maybe it looks like 996 on a particular week, but then other weeks maybe not. And so I don't like. I think there's like two parts to this question. Like one is like the outcomes and inputs versus outputs. I like to focus on outputs. I just also think like you got to be realistic about how hard startup is with people. And I do think that when we're interviewing people and we're getting the sense that like they're mentioning things in the interview, honestly, like, hey, like work-life balance, like there's keywords and buzzwords that sort of flag to me like, okay, like is this person like fully understanding like what it means to be part of a 50-person company? And it's not to say that that's like that might not be, it's not bad. Like if they just don't want that, I think we just need to be very clear about expectations as startups. Like it is going to be hard. You are going to put in big hours and the goals are going to be very ambitious. So I think like I find it hard. Where we've had like friction with people, where we've made mistakes, is when we have an ambitious goal and somebody says like, I just don't, I wasn't expecting that I would be having to work this much. And it's like, look, you're kind of at a junior level. Like it's just natural that you're going to have to you're not going to be as efficient as somebody who's 10 years more senior than you. So like, you're probably going to be, ass in seat for longer. And like, I'm okay with that. But again, like it starts with the outcome and motivating people around like what it will mean for the company and for themselves personally to get to that outcome. And then I think, again, the rest fills in behind it. With respect to like the office culture, I can go there. We are very opinionated about this. And this is something that we decided when we started the company, and we had the benefit of starting the company after COVID had already started. So like, ironically, like we didn't have to go through the, like, we're an office company and then we're shifting to everybody remote because you have to. And then now we're trying to get people to come back. Our mentality was we're going to start this business in the beginning parts of essentially like 2021. It was still like heavy COVID, but it's like everyone's going to get tested. You're going to like do the test. You're going to come to the office. That was the game plan. And so we were able to hire people under that premise. And for us, like I'm happy to be controversial on this. And I think when we started the company, everybody was like, you guys are you're behind. Like the world is remote. You've got to hire remote. You're missing out on all the talent. And I felt like I had to defend this position, and now it's totally flip-flopped. And every one of those VCs is like, oh, I only invest in companies that are five days a week in person. So it's like now the cool thing to do. But to me, like
5 days a week, man. You don't get money from
I mean,
me.
I do like this. Like, I think if you are like if I'm Shepherd today and I'm like, there's a competitor that's going to start a company, and they're going to do exactly what we do, and you say, hey, one is fully remote, one is 5 days in office per week. Which one are you scared of? I am 100% more scared of the 5 day in office per week. I just think that it moves the needle. Again, it's not right for everybody. There's a million reasons why it may or may not make sense for a different business, but we had the opportunity to just decide that in the beginning, and we took it. And now we're like, this is our thing. Um, we are distributed. We have an office in New York. We have an office in San Francisco. We have an office in Dallas. So like, it's not like everybody is all co-located in one place, which is like an even more extreme version of it. Um, but yeah, I think that it provides us an advantage, and I do believe in it strongly.
So you're not going to make the people commute from Dallas every day?
Well, as you know, Dallas is it's a gigantic place, so they have a pretty heavy commute as it is.
I was going to say
But we do, you know,
there was a
yeah.
company that a Ford Shepherd that made their employees commute from the center of the U.S. to the west of the U.S. Maybe they would be the ones to look at.
There's a value for us. Like we, New York is a big. Our New York team is very like it's very good for us to have presence in different markets, and being boots on the ground in certain places does matter. But I think culturally, the expectation of, hey, we're in an office culture, is a through line between these different locations, and I think it does create again like a really big advantage for us as a business.